Okay, everybody, welcome to my morning meditation and yoga class. Health, wealth, love, peace of mind, happiness, and strength.
Friday.
Hey, attention everyone. I've been trying to catch the Pontiac Bandit for 8 years. You know how many months that is?
96.
80, 40, and 6 years, months.
You're not very good at math.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Okay,
my
no,
God.
It's in your oath, Richard.
I was gone for 30 seconds.
Dad! You don't have your friends Friday night, right?
Oh, well, we didn't talk yet, but I don't need...
Yeah, I can go. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I can go. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
nice. You can use it on your pits, chest, and even your toes.
Oh, that's fresh.
Okay, the first book I'm going to read to you in this morning meditation is the Shin Shin Man. There is nothing difficult about the Great Way, but avoid choosing. Only when you neither love nor hate does it appear in all clarity. A hair's breadth of deviation from it, and a deep gulf is set between heaven and earth. If you want to get hold of what it looks like, do not be anti or pro anything. The conflict of longing and loathing, this is the disease of the mind. Not knowing the profound meaning of things, we disturb our original peace of mind to no purpose, perfect like great space. The way has nothing lacking, nothing in excess. Truly, because of our accepting and rejecting, we have not the suchness of things. Neither follow after nor dwell with the doctrine of the void. If the mind is at peace, these wrong views disappear of themselves. When passivity is stopped and passivity obtains, the passivity again is a state of activity. Remaining in movement or quiescence, how shall we know the one? Not thoroughly understanding the unity of the way, both activity and quiescence are failures. If you get rid of phenomena, all things are lost. If you follow after the void, you turn your back on the selflessness of things. The more talking and thinking, the farther from the truth. Cutting off all speech, all thought, there is nowhere that you cannot go. Returning to the root, we get the essence. Following after appearances, we lose the spirit. If for only a moment we see within. We have surpassed the emptiness of things. Changes that go on in this emptiness all arise because of our ignorance. Do not seek for the truth. Religiously avoid following it. If there is the slightest trace of this and that, the mind is lost in a maze of complexity. Duality arises from unity. But do not be attached to this unity. When the mind is one and nothing happens, everything in the world is unblameable. If things are unblamed, they cease to exist. If nothing happens, there is no mind. When things cease to exist, the mind follows them. When the mind vanishes, things also follow it. Things are things because of the mind. The mind is the mind because of things. If you wish to know what these two are, they are originally one emptiness. In this void, both mind and things are one. All the myriad phenomena contained in both, if you do not distinguish refined and coarse, how can you be for this and against that? The activity of the great way is vast. It is neither easy nor difficult. Small views are full of foxy fears, the faster the slower. When we attach ourselves to the idea of enlightenment, we lose our balance. We infallibly enter the crooked way. When we are not attached to anything, all things are as they are. With activity, there is no going or staying. Obeying our nature, we are in accord with the way, wandering freely without annoyance. When our thinking is tired, it turns from the truth. It is dark, submerged, wrong. It is foolish to irritate your mind. Why shun this and be friends with that? If you wish to travel in the true vehicle, do not dislike the six dusts. Indeed, not hating the six dusts is identical with real enlightenment. The wise man does nothing. The fool shackles himself. The truth has no distinctions. These come from our foolish clinging to this and that, seeking the mind with the mind. Is not this the greatest of all mistakes? Illusion produces rest and motion. Illumination destroys liking and disliking. All these pairs of opposites are created by our own folly. Dreams, delusions, flowers of air. Why are we so anxious to have them in our grasp? Profit and loss, right and wrong, away with them once and for all. If the eye does not sleep, all dreaming ceases naturally. If the mind makes no discriminations, all things are as they really are. In the deep mystery of this, things as they are, we are released from our relations to them. When all things are seen with equal mind, they return to their nature. No description by analogy is possible. Of this state where all relations have ceased, when we stop movement, there is no movement. When we stop resting, there is no rest. When both cease to be, how can the unity subsist? Things are ultimately in the finality, subject to no law, for the accordant mind is in it. The accordant mind in its unity, individual activity ceases. All doubts are cleared up. True faith is confirmed. Nothing remains behind. There is not anything we must remember. Empty, lucid, self-illuminated, with no overexertion of the power of the mind. This is where thought is useless. This is what knowledge cannot fathom. In the world of reality, there is no self, no other than self. Should you desire immediate correspondence with this reality, all that can be said is no duality. When there is no duality, all things are one. There is nothing that is not included. The enlightened of all times and places have all entered into this truth. Truth cannot be increased or decreased. An instantaneous thought lasts a myriad years. There is no here, no there. Infinity is before our eyes. The infinitely small is as large as the infinitely great. For limits are non-existent things. The infinitely large is as small as the infinitely minute. No eye can see their boundaries. What is not. What is not is. Till you have grasped this fact, your position is simply untenable. One thing is all things. All things are one thing. If this is for you, there is no need to worry about perfect knowledge. The believing mind is not dual. What is dual is not the believing mind. Beyond all language for it, there is no past, no present, no future. Okay, that's, again, R.H. Blythe's translation of the Shinshinming. This is Zen and Zen Classics, Volume 1, from Upanishads to Huineng, Hokusaido Press, Tokyo. Okay, the next book we're going to read is The Wisdom of the Buddha. I'm going to get a glass of water, and then we'll read that. Okay, I got about 15 minutes. Okay, this is chapter 7, Self. If a man hold himself dear, let him watch himself carefully. During one, at least, out of the 3 watches, a wise man should be watchful. Let each man direct himself first to what is proper, then let him teach others, thus a wise man will not suffer. If a man make himself as he teaches others to be, then being himself well subdued, he may subdue others, for one's own self is difficult to subdue. Self is the lord of self. Who else could be the lord? With self well subdued, a man finds a lord such a few can find. The evil done by oneself, self-forgotten, self-bred, crushes the foolish, as a diamond breaks even a precious stone. He whose wickedness is very great brings himself down to that state where his enemy wishes him to be, as a creeper does with the tree which it surrounds. Bad deeds and deeds hurtful to ourselves are easy to do. What is beneficial and good, that is very difficult to do. The foolish man who scorns the rule of the venerable Arhat, of the elect Arya, of the virtuous, and follows a false doctrine, he bears fruit to his own destruction, like the fruits of the Kataka reed. By oneself the evil is done, by oneself one suffers, by oneself evil is left undone, by oneself one is purified. The pure and the impure stand and fall by themselves. No one can purify another. Let no one forget his own duty for the sake of another's, however great. Let a man, after he has discerned his own duty, be always attentive to his duty. The world. Do not follow the evil law. Do not live on in thoughtlessness. Do not follow false doctrine. Be not a friend of the world. Rouse thyself. Do not be idle. Follow the law of virtue. The virtuous rest in bliss in this world and in the next. Follow the law of virtue. Do not follow that of sin. The virtuous rest in bliss in this world and in the next. Look upon the world as you would on a bubble. Look upon it as you would on a mirage. The king of death does not see him who thus looks down upon the world. Come, look at this world, glittering like a royal chariot. The foolish are immersed in it, but the wise do not touch it. He who formerly was reckless and afterwards became sober brightens up this world, like the moon when freed from clouds. He whose evil deeds are covered by good deeds brightens up this world, like the moon when freed from clouds. The world is dark. Few only can see here. Few only go to heaven, like birds escaped from the net. The swans go on the path of the sun. They go miraculously through the ether. The wise are let out of this world when they have conquered Mara and his train. If a man has transgressed the one law and speaks lies and scoffs at another world, there is no evil he will not do. The uncharitable do not go to the world of the gods. Fools only do not praise liberality. A wise man rejoices in liberality, and through it becomes blessed in the other world. Better than sovereignty over the earth, better than going to heaven, better than lordship over all worlds is the reward of Sotapati, the first step in holiness. Sotapati, the technical term for the first of 4 steps on the path that leads to nirvana. This is called the Buddha, the Awakened. He whose conquest cannot be conquered again, into whose conquest no one in this world enters, by what track can you lead him? The awakened, the omniscient, the trackless. He whom no desire with its snares and poisons can lead astray, by what track can you lead him? The awakened, the omniscient, the trackless. Even the gods envy those who are awakened and not forgetful, who are given to meditation, who are wise, and who delight in the repose of retirement from the world. Difficult to obtain is the conception of man, difficult is the life of mortals, difficult is the hearing of the true law, difficult is the birth of the awakened, the attainment of Buddhahood. Not to commit any sin, to do good, and to purify one's mind, that is the teaching of the awakened, of all the awakened. The awakened call patience the highest penance, long-suffering the highest nirvana, for he is not an anchorite, Pravragita, who strikes others. He is not an ascetic Saramana, who insults others. Not to blame, not to strike, to live restrained under the law, to be moderate in eating, to sleep and sit alone, and to dwell on the highest thoughts. This is the teaching of the awakened. There is no satisfying lusts, even by a shower of gold pieces. He who knows that lusts have a short taste and cause pain, he is wise. Even in heavenly pleasures he finds no satisfaction. The disciple who is fully awakened delights only in the destruction of all desires. Men driven by fear go to many a refuge, to mountains and forests, to groves and sacred trees. But that is not a safe refuge. That is not the best refuge. A man is not delivered from all pains after having gone to that refuge. He who takes refuge with Buddha, the law, and the church, he who with clear understanding sees the four holy truths, pain, the origin of pain, the destruction of pain, that is, and the eightfold holy way that leads to the quieting of pain. That is the safe refuge. That is the best refuge. Having gone to that refuge, a man is delivered from all pain. A supernatural person, a Buddha, is not easily found. He is not born everywhere. Wherever such a sage is born, the race prospers. Happy is the arising of the awakened. Happy is the teaching of the true law. Happy is peace in the church. Happy is the devotion of those who are at peace. He who pays homage to those who deserve homage, whether the awakened Buddha or the disciples, those who have overcome the host of evils and crossed the flood of sorrow. He who pays homage to such as have found deliverance and know no fear. His merit can never be measured by anyone. Okay, this chapter is called Happiness. This will be the last chapter I read. We live happily indeed, not hating those who hate us. Among men who hate us dwell free from hatred. We live happily indeed, free from ailments among the ailing. Among men who are ailing, let us dwell free from ailments. We live happily indeed, free from greed among the greedy. Among men who are greedy, let us dwell free from greed. We live happily indeed, though we call nothing our own. We shall be like the bright gods, feeding on happiness. Victory breeds hatred, for the conquered is unhappy. He who has given up both victory and defeat, he, the contented, is happy. There is no fire like passion. There is no losing throw like hatred. There is no pain like this body. There is no happiness higher than rest. Hunger is the worst of diseases, the elements of the body the greatest evil. If one knows this truly, that is nirvana, the highest happiness. Health is the greatest of gifts. Contentedness the best riches. Trust is the best of relationships. Nirvana the highest happiness. He who has tasted the sweetness of solitude and tranquility is free from fear and free from sin, while he tastes the sweetness of drinking in the law. The sight of the elect, Ariya, is good. To live with them is always happiness. If a man does not see fools, he will be truly happy. He who walks in the company of fools suffers a long way. The company with fools as with an enemy is always painful. Company with the wise is pleasure, like meeting with kinsfolk. Therefore one ought to follow the wise, the intelligent, the learned, the much enduring, the dutiful, the elect. One ought to follow such a good and wise man as the moon follows the path of the stars. All right, everybody, it's my morning meditation yoga class. Hope you enjoyed. Hi, David. Hi, Mohammed. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Bye-bye.